Now, in this video, I will talk about the three C's, that is, the three important C's that we have to keep in mind while writing our essays. What are those three C's? The first C is content. Content is a very, very important part of any essay writing. So the first and the foremost thing is content. That is the first C. The second C is clarity. Clarity is very important because if what you write is not clear, then it might present many challenges to the reader. The third thing is concision. By concision, I mean that you would be given a specific amount of time and specific number of words within which you have to present your ideas. If you are taking too many words to express your ideas, you may end up writing too much, but without conveying any information in particular. So the three C's are very important. The first C is content. You have to have decent content. The second C is clarity. That is clarity while writing. The third C is concision. Concision basically means precision in the sense that don't take too many words to express an idea which can be expressed in few words, right? So we will take examples of that towards the end. In this video, let's first try to understand content. How can we build on content, and what kind of essays need content? Uh, Generally, I divide the essay topics into two broad categories. The first category is essays which are pretty much generic. And the second category is essays which are pretty much technical in nature. So when you talk about generic topics, I would give example of generic topics like problems of overpopulation. This is a generic topic. Other generic topic could be social media and its impact on children. Or the third topic could be global warming. I call these topics as generic topic. You might ask this question that why am I calling these topics as generic topic? Generic topics are those topics on which there is no need of any specific content, or though there is no need of knowledge base, in the sense that if I want to write something on global warming, it is something that I experience day in, day out. It is something that I observe daily. So there are lots of essays in which you are going to express your opinion based on your experience and your observation, not on the basis of the knowledge that you have acquired. There is no need of knowledge base as such to write about global warming, or to write about the bad effects of social media, or to write about, let's say, the bad effects of overpopulation. So these are quite generic topics. You can write on these by using your observations and your experiences, right? On the other hand, you have topics which are quite technical. Technical in the sense that these topics need content. I mean, no matter how good you are in your observations and your experiences, if the content is not there, you will not be able to write on these topics. For example, cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency was very popular 3, 4 years ago. If you don't know much about cryptocurrency, you will not be able to write on cryptocurrency, right? Similarly, let's say Russia-Ukraine war. This war has been going on for the past, I don't know how many years, maybe 2 years. But if there is an essay and they ask you write about Russia-Ukraine war and you don't know exactly what is this all about, though you have heard about it, you will not be able to write much on it. Similarly, let's say something about cybercrime or cyber war. Cybercrime is still fine, but cyber war. Cyber war is something about which many people might not be knowing what exactly it means and the nitty-gritties of it. So there are topics which are technical. They need lots of content, without which you won't be able to write much. There are topics which are generic. Now, if you observe at the topics which have come in the VAT of the IIMs, most of the time they are quite generic topics. Very rarely will you see that there are topics which need technical knowledge. Very rarely. It happens seldom, right? So you might have this question that how should we prepare for technical topics, in the sense that is there a way by which I can prepare for technical topics? Now, in this video, I would not go into that direction because the purpose of this video is to talk about the three C's. The first C was content, which I am discussing right now, that it is a very important, but I will not go very deep into it because then it becomes a different chapter altogether. I will talk about the other two C's because content, I know, okay, we need to work on it. And to put it to put it briefly, I would say that we can collect a list of topics, around 35, 40 topics, which are based on current affairs, which are based on general talk going on around in the world. You can list them down and you can use ChatGPT very effectively, because when I conducted the VAT PI process last year, many people were able to use ChatGPT very effectively to build on technical content. Like, for example, Russia Ukraine war, it has been going on. So you can put this in ChatGPT and you can ask for the sources through which you can get information, and you can build upon that knowledge, right? So there are around 25, 30 such topics, not more than that. And you can only prepare for things when they are in certain limit. You cannot just start reading history, geography, civics, political science, everything just because you have an IIM call. Lots of things need to be done. So it is good that if you restrict your pursuit of knowledge to restricted areas only, then it is going to be effective. So let's talk about the other two C's. The other C is clarity. Clarity is very important. When you're writing your ideas have to be clear, they have to be precise. And the other thing is concision. So I can't talk about them without examples. So I will try to share a sheet where I have put lots of examples, and I have shown you that how good writing is different from bad writings. So let me just share this thing here. And as you can see on the screen here. Now, on the screen, it is visible that it says, first, let's try to understand what do we mean by clarity. So there are only 5 examples. It's not a long video. If you look at example number 1 here, it says visiting. So this is a sentence which is very confusing. Visiting relatives can be annoying. Why is this a confusing sentence? Does visiting refer to hosting relatives? Or does it refer to your visiting relatives? So if you are hosting relatives, then hosting visiting relatives can be annoying, or visiting my relatives can sometimes be annoying. Now, this is just a short example. I'm just trying to tell you that this sentence is not very clear to me. Visiting means, are you visiting? Or are the relatives visiting your place? That is no clarity on this. So this is a clearer version of the same sentence. Or for example, if you take the second one, it says John and Mark arrived late, but he apologized. Now, the problem is when you see that there is John, there is Mark, he apologized. Is it one of the two? And if it is one of the two, then which one is it? So the better version would be John and Mark arrived late, but John apologized, right? So clarity basically means that when you're writing, you are very much specific about what exactly you are referring to. And this is something that you will develop by practice. So let's take the third example here, and you will see it says the professor said on Monday he would give an exam. Now, a typical error in writing, people when they write fast and when they're writing quickly, they end up actually confusing us. The professor said on Monday he would give an exam. So the professor said, is it that he said on Monday? Or is it that the exam would be given on Monday? So we don't know whether the Monday is the day on which the professor said, or whether the Monday is the day on which he would give the exam. So a better version would be the professor said he would give an exam on Monday. That means the exam would be there on Monday. Or the other version of this would be the professor said on Monday that he would give an exam. On which day, we don't know. Both the versions are fine, but definitely this version is lacking in clarity. This is what we mean by sentences which are confusing or sentences which lack clarity. Similarly, if you go to the next sentence here, it says the complex houses married and single soldiers and their families. A sentence which is not very good in the sense, if you're talking about complex, then I think it is a housing complex, and the housing complex accommodates or houses both married and single soldiers as well as their families. When you say the complex houses married and single soldiers and their families, it is a little convoluted. So a better version would be the housing complex accommodates both married and single soldiers as well as their families. So every sentence which is not very clear can have a better version of it. So as you write your essays, you can try to find, is there a better way I can put the same sentence, or can I shorten the sentence? Here you have the fifth example. It says only she had $5 to buy groceries. Now this is a very confusing sentence. What is so confusing about it? We don't know whether the word only is in the right place or not. Is it only she who had $5 to buy groceries, or is it that she had only $5 to buy groceries? So if you look at this sentence, I mean, there is nothing grammatically wrong, but when you look at this sentence, you feel that, okay, this is expressing the idea in a better way. She had only $5 to buy groceries. That means you are expressing that only $5 is referring to the amount and not to the person, as if there are 20 people and only she had $5 to buy the groceries. Right? So correct. So this is the way you have to express sentences. So these are just an example in which I have tried to show you that unclear sentences always are, they don't create a very good impression. So when you write an essay, it's basically a collection of many things, but clarity of writing is one very, very important parameter on which you are given marks. So when I read something quickly and I feel that, yeah, this is clear and the content is decent enough, the marks awarded to that candidate is always higher. On the other hand, sometimes the content is decent enough, but the writing style is little confusing. So in that case, it may not create the right impression. So content plus clarity, very, very important. Now we will come to the third C, and that is concision. This is a big, big problem. In fact, the clarity is still fine because not many people have issues with it. But concision is a big problem with many, many people. And the reason is that we try to build lots of background information. At the same time, we try to put too much in the same sentence. That is the reason why our sentences become very bulky, long, without conveying much. Now, look at this sentence here. This is a long sentence, so there is a long sentence given to you, and there is a shorter version of that sentence. You can compare these two. The long sentence here says, due to the fact that the weather forecast predicted rain for the entire day, we decided to cancel the outdoor event that had been planned. Now, the person is trying to say that since it was raining all day, we canceled the outdoor. So due to the fact that there was weather forecast predicted rainfall, it's such a long and unnecessary uh, structuring of the sentence. A better version of it is, since it was raining or going to rain all day, we canceled the outdoor event. Simple, short, and to the point. Look at the second example. The report, which was prepared after many weeks of careful research and analysis, revealed significant insights into the economic trends of the last decade. Right? So the first, this part is really very, very. In fact, if you look at this one, this is unnecessarily very, very long. Right? The report, based on weeks of research, prepared after many weeks of careful research and analysis. Why do you need to say after many weeks of careful, based on weeks of research? So look at how this entire thing has been crisply put in the second version. And therefore, this shortened version is much, much better. And it brings out the idea much more clearly. The report, based on weeks of research, revealed key economic trends from the past decade. That's it. The third one says, in the event that you are unable to attend the meeting at the scheduled time, please let us know as soon as possible so that we can make the necessary arrangements. Nothing wrong with it. Unnecessarily long. If you can not attend the meeting, let us know promptly to adjust. So, in the event that you are unable to attend the meeting at the scheduled time, if you cannot attend the meeting, and if it is a meeting, there must be some time to it. So why do you need to say at the scheduled time unnecessarily? So what happens is many of us have this issue of putting too many words, and these are unrequired words. These make our sentences very long. We take too much time to write this, and ultimately we end up communicating nothing. So rather than saying that if you are unable to attend the meeting at the scheduled time, if you can't attend the meeting, there must be some time to it, and this time is scheduled. There is no need to unnecessarily put that, right? Look at the fourth one. The manager made the decision to hold a meeting with all the employees in order to discuss the upcoming changes to the company policies and gather their feedback. The manager made the decision to hold a meeting. Made the decision to hold a meeting. Why such a long phrase? The manager held a meeting. So held a meeting has been stretched here, made the decision to hold a meeting. Held a meeting, three word, made the decision to hold a meeting, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. 7 words and 3 words. Look at how crisp it becomes. The manager held a meeting. Why? To discuss policy changes and gather feedback. their feedback. Why do you need to? I mean, the people who are there, they will give their feedback. No one else will go give the feedback from outside. So this is how you write your sentences. Uh, the the thing is that this kind of technical improvement will come gradually. I mean, you cannot just start writing well right from day one. You will have to write short paragraphs to begin with. You will have to write short paragraph, maybe 100 words, 150 words, not more than that. Start refining your writing skills and gradually then move to 250 words, 300 words, two paragraph, and then start writing for 400, 500 words. So the step is like you start with small short paragraph and gradually build on longer paragraph. The last example, it is important to note that the equipment should always be handled with care to avoid any potential damage or malfunction that could arise from improper use. Well, this is again something which is implied, because if it is having some damage or malfunction, that means it was improperly used. There is no need to basically write it all the time. So many a time when words come in groups, some words imply. So handle the equipment carefully. Why? To prevent damage or malfunction. So this is just around 8 to 9 words, not more than that. And here you have taken around how many words? 27 words. So what has been expressed in 27 words here has been expressed in just 9 words. This is what a good VAT is. A good VAT puts good amount of information without confusion and has decent content. If that is the case, then you are likely to get full marks in your VAT essays. So this is the session that I was about that I had planned to take. The importance of three C's. The first C is content, the second is clarity, and the third is concision or precision. Right. Thanks a lot, and do subscribe to our channel and look at the details of our VAT PI course in the description. Thank you.